to my occult YouTube channel. So a few weeks ago, I had asked subscribers, to leave comments and for suggestions of what they would like to see next and what topics they would like to um, listen to or tune into, or if they would like to join me on my channel and have a discussion. So the question was, towards me, about my spiritual journey, about my spiritual paths, um, like how was what kind of a journey did you go on, or how was your spiritual journey, and how did you find the path that you're on now? So I'll talk about that one. So I've had a long spiritual journey, and not sure if I mentioned it, but this started out as an interest when I was much younger, like in my single digits. I remember myself tuning into scary movies, scary shows, like more like paranormal and ghost shows, and uh, like Are You Afraid of the Dark on Nickelodeon. That was one of my go-to shows. Um, you know, back when I was in my single digits. So that's how that's when that started, and I've been on and off for years. Like I would forget about it for a few years, and then the interest would come back, and then again I would forget about it for a few years, and then the interest would come back. It always seems to come back into my life somehow, some form, some way. And a few years ago, I started getting into it more on a hardcore level. Started buying more books about it, about the occult topics. Um, Obviously, reading about it, doing more research and more studies, and doing some of the work. Like I made some protection sachets with different kinds of herbs and including crystals. Um, and like I've been on many paths. I've researched and like studied many paths of witchcraft, of the different paths of Wiccans, and like I said, witchcraft. There's many paths. Um, I didn't look into all of them because not all of them like resonated with me. Only certain ones, like herbologist, and working with herbs and crystals, and focusing on that, and then on moon phases and different different topics within that. I have a few books uh, that go along with my journeys, including paranormal, all the ghost hunting, discovering different kinds of like entities and different kinds of spirits and energies, and just focusing more on that for a while. A lot of this was like come and go. I would like I was saying before, it would be an interest to me, and then it would kind of no longer be an interest. It was just kind of things I felt like inside. Um, but this has always been an interest like in my life, and it just it's like the weirdest thing. It always comes back to me. Like I haven't tried to literally like get away from it and forget about it. It just kind of spiritually happens. Um, I'm attracted to the color black. I wear black every day. Um, because I resonate with that color, with this color, and it just it makes me feel kind of good in a weird sense, in a weird way. And I've always been I've always been like attracted to more of the darker aspects of the occult world, even in my youth, my younger ages. Um, I wasn't too uh, like focused on it. Like I mentioned, I was focused on other things, and like recently, let's see, recently last month at some point, I had a feel like this feeling like came over me to finally get into the more darker aspects of the occult world, the occult realm, which is the left hand path. I was on the right hand path for the majority of my life, not even realizing it. I've heard of the differences, left hand path, right hand path, but I never looked into it too much until recently. And um, I may do certain things on like pertaining to right hand path. Um, Obviously, working with different kinds of herbs and cleansing crystals. But I feel that like the right hand path is like too like light and fluffy for me. Um, as where the left hand path isn't light and fluffy. Um, it's more kind of complex. It's a lot to deal with. It's very I mean it's a very interesting journey. Like I said, I'm recently started that, and I've been doing research of the left hand path and doing research of the Qliphoth, which is like the tree of death and the different realms within that. So I've been on and off on that, but I do I do eventually want to take that journey, and also like necromancy. Um, necromancy might seem like kind of hardcore, and it's not like trying to raise the dead or do anything crazy, but like at least in my practices, I've done some research of necromancy, and I've watched some YouTubes of that topic, and it's pretty interesting what I found out. Um, like there's something called like kitchen necromancy, and like for instance, like the raw meat that you guys buy, uh, that was part of a live creature at one point, and you're like reheating it, and you're making it like good to the point where it's good to ingest ingest it, like to eat it. And I mean, you can do the research yourself if you want, but there is a such thing as like kitchen necromancy, and uh, like I'm getting into like baneful herbs and doing research on that, and war water, and working with like different sigils. Um, so that's a that's like a whole realm within itself. Um, so so now uh, I do call myself a left hand path researcher and practitioner because I feel that that's where I belong. It's my path, and it just kind of feels right to me. Um, but I'm not like jumping into it without knowing. I'm actually doing the research. I'm putting in the time, the effort, the energy into this path. Um, taking it slow. Like um, not like some. I'm not like working with um like entities or demons like right now. Like I'm just doing the research and learning more about these these demonic entities. These obviously ones were fallen angels. Um, so I have like with that said, I have a few um, that that like kind of call out to me, that resonate with me, that I feel that are like the ones to work with. Everybody has their own uh, like deity or I mean like entity that they work with, and or like matron, patron. Um, so I have three that I'm working with. One being Lucifer, the other being Lilith, and Baphomet or Baphomet. Um, so I've done some things, like I've done like a initiation with Lilith on the Dark Moon, and like I'm still learning about Lilith, and I'm still doing the research. I have some I have a few books that have a lot of her information into it. Um, and like I said, I'm learning everything about Lilith that I can, like what crystals and like herbs or incense or candles um, that resonate with her, so that I can, so that when I do work with her, I'm doing things like I want to do the things the right way. I don't want to go in not knowing, and so that's the wrong thing to do. You have to do your research. You have to know what you're doing, and um, just go with that one. And then Lucifer. Um, I'm learning about Lucifer. I'm doing the research with him, and just learning more about Lucifer, and I'm like I'm getting resources from like people and books, and like I talk to people who work with her, and I get information that way. Um, and a lot of people are very helpful and willing to share like information is from their personal grimoires or their books of shadows, which helps me a lot. But again, I like doing my research. I like putting in the time and the energy. And then also Baphomet, learning about him um, and the different uh, like aspects and uh, what what like ingredients like candles and herbs and incense, which ones to burn, and when I do work with Baphomet. Um, so so like I said, I've had a long spiritual journey, and it's it's been pretty interesting. Um, but now, like I mentioned, I'm definitely I feel that I'm ready to learn more about the darker aspects of the occult. Um, it took me into my 30s to finally realize, like, I'm 36 now, so it took me until 36 years of age to finally get to where I am now, to finally realize spiritually that I belong on the left-hand path, and that this is my uh, interest, and it's really interesting. It's really interesting. I know the left-hand path doesn't resonate with everybody, but you know, working with these entities is definitely going to be in another interesting journey, and just getting to know them, uh, learning different like ceremonies and rituals, and like what exactly to do. I know everybody has like their different different methods and different ways of working with uh, working with these spirits. Some people work with others. Some people like work with like Belial. I hear a lot of people working with Belial. Um, of course, a lot of people work with Lucifer as well. I've heard um, I've heard things with Lucifer, and there's been like a few people that have felt his presence like come up behind them, almost like embracing them, like a kind of like a warm feeling almost, um, like an acceptance almost, like being accepted or being almost like approved by Lucifer, by the energy of Lucifer. So I do have a lot of books. I have a little library over there, and I have a lot of different occult books, and just by just by seeing those, I can see, my journey, my long spiritual journey. I have different books in my mini library of the paranormal, of I have one called the Demon Encyclopedia, which gives details on every spirit, on um, every spirit that people work with. And I recently got some more books. One called the Dark Gate: The Key to the Left Hand Path, and I'm gonna read that one pretty soon. And yeah, so that's where I am now. I hope that this answers your question. I hope that um, I I pretty much mentioned a lot of things that I have done in the past pertaining to my spiritual journey. So I hope everybody has a good rest of your day, and I will see you on the next one.